Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT Great American Bash Show, 7 6 2021. I don't like the fact they're using the Bash name. I'm old school. They're not. It happens. Show kicks off with the Tag Team Championship match, MSK. What a horrible name. Wesley and Ash Carter defeating Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher to retain the titles. Lee cradles Thatcher with a pinfall and retain in what some people are calling a good bout. I tend to call it an overextension of spotty wrestling, but it is what it is. Nice opener to get the card going. Challengers did look strong throughout the match. MSK remain the champs. Ciampa and Thatcher work over Wes Lee, cut the ring in half as they lay in a bunch of shots on him. Ciampa does get caught with a drop kick out of nowhere. Lee and Carter do some good tag spots and springboard Cabrata to the floor. Thatcher takes a bullet for Ciampa and steps in to catch Carter. And then Carter gets hit with a lariat. Show cuts to commercial, and Lee is selling the action at ringside. Show returns to a hot tag. Lee clears house. Lee is on a roll and he gets nailed by the challenger. Thatcher lowbridges Lee and runs the ropes. Lee sent to the outside pretty quickly. Challengers target Lee, but the champs fight back with decent amount of valor. Champs are cut off. Carter is now target and gets worked over. Ciampa gets hit with a jumping knee strike, rubber legs, and then MSK look to set up a finisher. Ciampa escapes Thatcher, helps to make the save. Thatcher gets hit with a shot from his partner, and then Ciampa goes down. Thatcher walks into a super kick. Lee goes nuts and hits a handspring flip. Ciampa nails him midair with a shotgun drop kick. Near fall after a Project Ciampa. Lee counters another finisher, but the challengers turn the tide after some quick tags. Carter counters an air raid crash. MSK double teams Ciampa. Carter hits a swanton bomb, and Lee hits a corkscrew senton for near fall. Thatcher drags Lee out of the ring, and Thatcher clocks Carter with a right hand. Challengers cut off again. Ciampa executes an assisted fairy tale ending on Lee, and then applies an ankle lock. Carter back in to make the save. Lee trips Thatcher into a small package. Champs retain. Then we go to Karrion Kross and Johnny Gargano face to face. William Regal and Samoa Joe are in the ring hosting a segment where they attempt to settle things between Gargano and Kross. Obviously, that's not going to happen and would be bad for business. Gargano claims Kross is scared to face him in the ring. Regal said the feud cannot go on without a departure from this feud, which must continue. Regal announces a match between the two next week. Kross objected to the title match, and Kross said he's not afraid of Gargano. Kross has 3 goals: waking up in the morning, he wants to remain the champion, and he wants to main event WrestleMania, and he wants to become WWE champion. He insults Gargano by saying he's wearing his wife's jeans. Kross said he's not a cartoon, he's real life. Regal interrupted. This is next week title match. There will be a special guest referee, and that's Samoa Joe. I think this is too soon for that. Gargano said it's funny. Kross mentions Gargano's wife. Kross couldn't even lace his wife's boots, he says. Kross has heard enough, and he wants to fight right now. Joe steps in, and they stare down. Vignette for Kushida comes in. Then $1 Million Champion LA Knight defeats Cameron Grimes to retain the title. Knight pins Grimes, so Grimes now has to be the butler. Match is fine, and Grimes has a lot of fire at the start, leading to a crossbody off the top. Knight shows briefly that he knows how to counter everything. Grimes then hits a counter of his own. Knight regains an advantage, and the show cuts to picture in picture because, well, we don't know how to book matches that don't need to go into picture in a picture. Knight is on offense during the break, so um, Ric Flair's in a commercial, steals the show, returns from break, and Knight is still in control. Grimes is stuck with a one-man running Spanish Fly, leading to a double down. They trade strikes, and they go on to trade falls. Grimes fires up, and Grimes begins the comeback, and Grimes hits a near fall. Switching to a Uranagi slam, Grimes then skins the cat and gets caught with a torture rack and drops into a facebuster. 2 count for Knight, and Grimes kicks out moments later. After being subjected to all of this, Knight fetches the $1 million belt. He brings the belt into the ring. Ref takes it from him. Meanwhile, Grimes is able to use the O'Connor roll and gets a handful of tights. Knight takes position, Rana, and yet gets only another near fall. Fighting spills outside. Knight gives Grimes DDT onto the title belt on the floor. Ouch, this looks painful. They tease a countout. Grimes is able to get back in the ring. Grimes is unsteady and then takes a headlock DDT. Knight covers Grimes for the pin. Breakout tournament entrants are introduced. Turning crew includes Trey Baxter, Carmelo Hayes, Andre Chase, Josh Briggs, Akira Manjuro, Joe Gacy, Odyssey Jones, Duke Hudson. Tournament begins Tuesday on NXT with Iro versus Hudson first round match. Zoe Stark and Io Shirai defend the tag team championships against The Way, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell to retain the to win the titles rather. Stark pins Hartwell during a interesting finish that includes the return of Tegan Knox. New champs crowned, and LeRae and Knox probably are going into some sort of feud. Champions are in gear, inspired by the Click era New Generation. Hartwell is Razor Ramon, and LeRae is 1-2-3 Kid. Shirai gets shine early, and Stark follows through. This goes through a commercial break. Cross promotion, WWE in the Olympics spot. Lashley and Zack Snyder, Olympic gold medalist, are here. Says he might want to try wrestling. Back from the match with the heat on Stark. Hot tag Shirai squares off with Ray. They continue to be good with each other as they always have been. Stark and Shirai double team, and Stark looks strong, getting near falls. Shirai misses a moonsault. LeRae applies the Gargano escape on Shirai. Hartwell then jumps in the ring to apply the Anaconda Vice on Stark. Challenger's escape holds. LeRae drops a plain strike, and Shirai goes for a moonsault, but LeRae hits a counter suplex off the ropes, teasing another ending to the match and a show with Cradle, yet just a near fall. Lights go dark inside, and the battery charge appears on the video screen, goes from 99 to 100%. Tegan Knox appears on the stage. She was not who I was expecting to be the battery deal here. Anyway, LeRae looks as if she's seen a ghost. Shirai knocks LeRae out of the ring and then delivers a suplex into a knee, a strike, and Stark covers Hartwell for the pin. Knox and LeRae brawl after the match, and Knox gives chase when there is that need. Dexter Lumis comes to ringside during the commercial break, carries Hartwell away in his arms. I guess this means there's still love in the air between the two. Anyway, we go to Tori Storm cutting a promo on NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez. Storm asks about Saray watching the match with her. Storm scoffs and thoughts she declined the challenge. Hit Roll celebrates winning the American Championship. They look like decent stars in the segment here. And then they do a musical act here. They rap a bit, and Ashante Adonis is the DJ. Hit Row is definitely a home run in terms of being different. They end up looking like superstars. Main event time as we go to Adam Cole defeating Kyle O'Reilly. Cole pins O'Reilly in a decent match. They start with the grudge match to a bitter feud, and then they do a collar and elbow tie-up. Match is proving who's better in the ring, as opposed to the prior meeting, which is basically a fight. They grapple, and Cole powers out before commercial, and show returns from the break with Cole reeling. O'Reilly dominates him with a bunch of strikes, and finally things turn in Cole's favor. Cole hits a neck breaker on the floor and goes after the neck of his former friend O'Reilly. O'Reilly fires up, targets the arm, back and forth action, and Cole lambasts O'Reilly with a bunch more trash talk. O'Reilly continues to hulk up. O'Reilly is raining down punches in the corner. Cole escapes and blasts O'Reilly's knee with a super kick. Cole then follows up, smashing O'Reilly's knee into the ring post. Show cuts to picture-in-picture because, again, even in the main event, we can't not have interruptions. O'Reilly then hits the mat, selling his knee. Cole works over the knee during the break. O'Reilly begins to fight back when the show returns. Gee, what perfect timing. Anyway, Cole is again targeting O'Reilly's knee, but O'Reilly goes after Cole's knee. Dragon screw into the ropes O'Reilly, and then they trade strikes. Near falls. O'Reilly blocks a super kick, catching Cole's leg. Cole then takes a cradle suplex and at the hands of O'Reilly. Cole then kicks out. O'Reilly then hits a Kawada kick, and then O'Reilly gets takedowns. O'Reilly then tries to transition into the armbar, but Cole blocks the hold small package for a near fall. Cole then hits a counter into a heel hook, and Cole locks the figure 4 leg lock on. O'Reilly counters to apply heel hook, which he hooked, and then Cole manages to crawl to the bottom rope, breaking the hold. More back and forth with each rocking each other. O'Reilly falls out of the ring, and Cole executes a Panama Sunrise off the apron to the floor. Cole then rolls O'Reilly back into the ring, and O'Reilly gets his foot on the ropes to break up the pin. Trading strikes, and Cole takes a brainbuster. Cole then is prone on the mat as O'Reilly climbs turnbuckle. O'Reilly leaps off, bombs away, but Cole rolls out. O'Reilly crashes and burns. Cole delivers a last shot, and O'Reilly kicks out of that. At 2 9/10, Cole then goes to Panama Sunrise, and O'Reilly blocks that with a knee strike. O'Reilly delivers strikes to the injured knee of Cole and works over the knee that he injured previously in the match. Cole then executes a Panama Sunrise, followed by a last shot, and goes for the cover. And O'Reilly takes the loss in this one. Overall, not a bad, I guess you'd say, super card, but at the same time, it's still kind of weak in the sense of you do this, and you could have saved it for a TakeOver special rather than just doing a TV special for the sake of just doing it. Anyway, until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.